All right, guys. It's Eagles Commanders season finale. Eagles, will they make it to the number 2 seed? And we'll see what's going on with the Commanders with our special guests, Kelsey Nicole. So sit back, relax, and let's talk some football, baby. Let's go.
How about our quarterback? How about our quarterback?
I'm your quarterback.
He's a stud.
He is a stud.
I knew he was going to play that way. I knew it. Don't doubt him. All he does
I'm
is
Pregame
win.
31 and I'm fly like an eagle. Hit him low, hit him high like the Eagles. Catch me on a podcast and we only talking Eagles. Dallas still sucks and ain't nothing like the Eagles. I'm one O-line, Jalen Hurts top 5. Run it like Saquon, like I'm down Queen. Always open AJ, touchdown, say. Strap him up like the Jean, sack him up, Zach Bond. On the road to victory, yeah. We gon' watch our Eagles fly. Hit him low, hit him high. Hit him low, hit him low, hit him high. We gon' let him hit him low, we gon' let him hit him high. We gon' let him hit him low, we gon' let him hit him high. We gon' let him hit him low, we gon' let him hit him high. We gon' let him. Bird Gang 31 is a host man. Bringing Eagles to your door like the postman. Make some noise if you a real Birds fan. Make some noise if you a real Hurts fan. Yeah.
What is up, everybody? It's game day. Yeah, last week of the season. I had to get my girl Kelsey to come on here and talk some football with me. I missed her all year long. I tried to get her the first game. Things didn't work out, but I got her in the second game. So how you doing today, Kelsey?
I'm fantastic. Happy Football Sunday. I can't believe how fast, oh my gosh, it feels like we just ran through the NFL season. Right, our first Sunday of 2026. I'm in good spirits. Probably not as many Commanders fans in good spirits. There's much more on your guys' side of the football game. But I'm doing well. It's good to see you. I'm just so proud of all you've been doing.
Thank you. Happy New Year's to you. Happy New Year's to you. And the Commanders, come on now. Like, they didn't have their quarterback all season. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to make an excuse for them. They didn't have JD5 out there balling out with them all year long. So it is what it is, And the Eagles, man, we've been up and down all year long for sure. Yeah. So, our defense finally came together. We got that championship defense out there right now, but the offense is still, we're looking better. You know what I'm saying? We got a first-year coordinator out there. How have you seen the Eagles, and what's your take on them this year?
Yeah, I think there were such high expectations, right? We see the jacket that you're repping, we see what you're wearing, and everybody knows what the goal was, right, for the Philadelphia Eagles. It was to get back to the promised land, right? They want to be in San Francisco, and they want to be hoisting yet another Lombardi trophy. But I think the interesting is with the Philadelphia Eagles, again, I think we have to remember things on paper need to also play on the football field. And, I will say for one, I think Jalen Hurts gets so much hate. He's not perfect, but he is a solid, good quarterback. I mean, like I feel like, he's one of those guys like damned if he does, damned if he doesn't, again, especially when we look at the quarterbacks throughout this season. I think we also have to realize all the quarterbacks have been hurt this season. So the fact that you can keep Jalen Hurts healthy for one is a prize. You alluded to it in Washington, right? JD5 on the other side hasn't been able to keep healthy, and you see the results that the Commanders have fielded. But, I know the Eagles are looking right at 2 or 3 seed. I think it's going to be interesting. I think Philly is going to be a team, like you said. I think there's been a lot of people talking about them this season, saying, the offense fully matched. We've heard about some stuff happening off the football field as well, and some personality and character issues. But I feel like when push comes to shove, I think they will get it together. But I will say the NFC, Randall, and I'm curious your thoughts, is interesting this year. Usually we're so AFC heavy, especially as it pertains to the Super Bowl. But I feel like this year things kind of got, kind of wobbled again, especially when you look at quarterback play in the AFC, right? Like there was some, big questions, right? Like, Joe Burrow, I know, is a guy that, there's been questions about, his health. I know probably later we'll touch on Lamar Jackson, his health being a thing. So kind of those normal like AFC guys, right, that we're kind of used
to. Mahomes, not even in the playoffs.
Mahomes, right? Kansas City, right? That was always like a guaranteed, right? It was like death taxes in the Kansas City Chiefs, right? Like, I mean, it was those type of things. So that's why I'm like, this season's going to be interesting. Like the teams that actually do get San Fran is going to be very, very interesting. But all that to say, I think the Eagles have a chance, obviously as they go into this game. I know the big news was them resting their starters, but again, they are looking, I know, finish the season strong. I know how Philadelphia Eagles fans are.
You know how we get.
Is. I don't have them hoisting it. I'm sorry, Randall, but I see them being a tricky team that I think if they're underestimated again, I mean, Saquon getting going at any time. Jalen Hurts very capable. The offense has the pieces, right? It's just, as you alluded to, putting it together. And then if the defense shows up like they are on paper, like the Eagles are a scary team. So all that to say, Eagles fans, y'all should be excited. Y'all should be looking forward to the postseason. I think this game is just for pride for the most part. For pride for the most part.
No, man, it's got some implications. We had some games, that went our favor and some games that didn't kind of go our favor.
The seeding. I'm so interested. That's why I can't wait to get.
Man, it's crazy. Like you said, this NFC this year, so many talented teams, man. Many talented teams. But I feel like we beat most of them. Like you look at the Rams, we already beat them 3 times.
They're an interesting team.
I don't 3 times in a row. We got Green Bay 3 times in a row. You know what I'm saying? Like we already beaten these legendary teams, that everybody think should do so much work inside the NFC. So that's what kind of got me at ease about the playoffs. You know what I'm saying?
But Randall, to that point though, I think it's been a surprise teams, right, in the NFC, like the Buccaneers and Panthers game that we all, just witnessed and watched.
I want the Panthers to win.
But who has the Panthers on their bingo card, right? You think about what's been happening down there. So it's been so interesting. That's why the NFC has been so interesting, to watch what played out. The Bears, right? We know that all the pressure that was on Caleb Williams, right? And the Chicago Bears. And so that's always, I'm really looking forward to.
Which one is your most surprising team, you think? You can go, give me one AFC, give me one NFC.
For NFC, it has to be the Carolina Panthers. Are they still
going to make the playoffs though?
Well, at the beginning of the season, yes, because honestly, I didn't have expectations, right? I feel like the Panthers beginning the season were like the forgotten, they were the forgotten stepchild. I feel like they were the forgotten NFL team, right? Because you just got so used to them not, unfortunately, being a team with a lot of things happening, right? We just kept talking about, what could be, but people just writing them off, right? So I think that's probably been the one that's been most kind of fun to watch. And honestly, I think I used to live in Charlotte. I think Carolina Panthers fans deserve what's happening right now. I mean, it's been a while, right? And so
ever since you don't mention his name. But
and you talk about quarterback play though, right? And that was the big thing with the Carolina Panthers, right? So
so even made a big jump this year.
I think that has to give, you have to give credit where credit is due. And again, I think that's somebody that was underestimated. People really didn't know if it would pan out. I mean, there are people at one time talking about, was the NFL the right thing? They're talking about backup, legacy about to start for him. So I love that he was able to make that leap. And I think on the AFC side, it's surprising. I feel like, AFC, you could go probably so many ways, but I think the easiest answer in the surprising realm is the Patriots, right? Come on, who had the Patriots? There was so much talk about Drake May. Obviously, Drake May was a name I've been talking about early because when you think about JD5, Drake May was the other guy kind of linked to potentially coming to the Commanders. That's a lot of people wanted here. And then, we hadn't really got to see what, I think his full capability and kind of things all coming together, this season. And I think especially, again, going back to the Ravens, I think that, big win against Baltimore. And again, I know Lamar, played a factor in that game though. But still, what they were able to do in Baltimore and up until this season, that was a team that did not really lose at home. And so, I think again, you have to give credit where credit is due. So I'm not giving the Patriots, the Super Bowl, but I like where they're trending and where they're lending. And they've been a fun team to watch. And of course, the big thing, I know the big news came out this week, it's Stephon Diggs, and I think that's something that we all have to keep an eye on. But he feasted back in his home state of Maryland, with them. So, I think they're another team. They have quality weapons. Drake May shows he can get the ball where the ball needs to be. And if the defense can hold up, I mean, the Patriots are a fun team again to watch as we continue to look, ahead.
Yeah, I like the Patriots too. Yeah, I think no one really expected that at the beginning of the season. I definitely. You watched Ricky Drake Mays last year, and he's like, all right, he's all right, he could be all right, he could be not, who knows what he's going to do this year. Like you said, the weapons, Stephon Diggs, he's already been from the Bills, He went somewhere else, didn't he? Before that, Patriots too. Didn't he go somewhere else?
I know it was
Buffalo. Like Buffalo. I feel like he went somewhere else. Didn't
I
he?
think that's right, Buffalo. And then I think you're right. I'm trying to remember, but I think that's right.
Was it the Ravens?
No, not the right Vikings, right? Vikings, Bills, and then I thought it was
Vikings, Bills did now.
Vikings, Bills.
Yeah, there it was. Vikings, yeah. So you wouldn't think of him being like that guy that's going to lead the way with them, you know. And then they got some good tight ends there. A good coach, man. That's what it's about, coaching. You know, you look at all these teams.
He's special. Yeah. And that was such a huge pickup for them to get him as a coach, right? Again, like I feel like just so many things are going their way. But, you know, another team I just have to say, Randall, that needs more credit. I'm curious what your thoughts on them, but the Jacksonville Jaguars, they've been, and nobody's talking about Jacksonville.
Sunshine. Sunshine over there slinging that rock. That's what he's doing. Sunshine over there slinging that rock.
I mean, Trevor, right? Like, I mean,
finally you get that number 1 overall pick, you know, caliber. But it takes, like, people don't realize the importance of coaching. You know, you look at a lot of these teams, they didn't have, the players weren't playing the same way before. They got new coaches. Caleb Williams, prime example. I'm a huge USC fan. I'm from California.
Yeah.
Huge USC fan. And everybody's hating on Caleb. You know, he sucks. The Bears wasted a draft pick. But you get the guy that comes in from, what's his name again? Came in from Detroit. I can't think of his name right now. Their offensive coordinator.
Right, their coordinator that came over. Yes. Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson, yes. Ben Johnson.
Yeah. And now.
And look at them, like you said, and that synergy, because you're right. Caleb, the narrative was so different.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, I mean, I have not seen Bears fans this excited. I mean, they're believing, you know, once again, because you look at last season, you look at this season, and just I feel like I've seen his confidence grow. Caleb on that football field. They're another team that has the weapons. You know, he has guys to throw the ball to. And I just think it's all coming together at the right time. So honestly, I think for football fans, we're lucky because I just feel like this season, again, we've had so many improbables kind of come together. We're like, you know, your usual contenders again with the Chiefs being gone. We'll see what happens in this game tonight, right? With Aaron Rodgers leading the Steelers and Lamar Jackson in Baltimore. But there's just a lot of, and then on the 49ers, right? Another team that we've just,
Injuries all season. You know, my boy is a huge 49er fan. He was not talking nothing in the beginning of the season when everybody was hurt. They weren't looking that good.
Exactly.
And now they're starting to get that roll off. You know, they lost last night, you know, for their chance at the number 1 seed. But, you know, they're still a good football team. It's always a good football team.
It is crazy.
I mean, look at Ben Johnson's old team. Detroit, they're playing. We want them to win. You know, today, so we get the number 2 seed. Obviously, we want them to beat the Bears. But look at the difference between Detroit and Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Ben Johnson took from 1 team. Last year, Detroit was the first number 1 seed.
Right.
This year, you know, he moves over to a new team. He's the number 1 seed over here. So, you know, it shows you that coaching really matters. You know, like
it does. I mean, because Jacksonville, right? There was questions before they hired a coach. Now, again. Proof is in the pudding right now. Like that's kind of, I think you're so right. And that's kind of why, again, like as you look at some of these potential firings, right? We're about to get into that time of the year. Like these teams that need coaches. I know there's a lot of talk right now about, you know, the New York Giants in that regard, but like, you know, that coach matters. And especially, you know, as again, you look to, you know, evolve a team. I think the other kind of big storyline in the NFL though, was how the Indianapolis Colts were trending. Injury bug hits the Colts, right? But like at one point in time, I mean, who also had the Indianapolis Colts doing what they were doing, Randall, at the beginning of this season, like
Daniel Footsteps. You know, that's what we called him on this show. He showed up and showed up. He didn't get hurt. That would be another team to be really worried about because that injury really rocked that team. Hey, shout out to Phillip Rivers, man.
Yes, coming back, granddad
off the couch. Hey, he was slinging it though. You could tell he had to put it up. But
he reminded folks who he was. Like, I mean, the effort was there. I know his high school kids were happy. Like, I enjoyed that. That's what this football season, it's been fun. Like, who would have ever had that happening? Like, I mean, it was like the gift that keeps on giving. So it's been fun. It's been all the teams we're talking about, though. Again, I don't think anybody had them winning the Super Bowl, like the teams that we've mentioned. For all the teams we just talked about. So, but yet here they are, right? And here we are talking about postseason.
The Broncos too.
The Broncos are another one. And look at their quarterback, right? And the job.
But I was there watching them at the Senior Bowl live. You know what I'm saying? I was there. I asked a couple questions. You know what I'm saying? I was there. But I didn't think he was that guy like that, you know what I'm saying? But I watched him being in Alabama, you know. I watched him play for Auburn. I watched when he transferred out, when he went to Oregon. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, and then Oregon seemed like they jumpstarted quarterbacks' careers just from all the passing they do. And Bo Nix
Very
came in
true.
and
When
he
you
did
look
a
at the connection, yeah.
fantastic job and shit. And who's
Yeah.
their no-name receivers? Sutton, okay. You know, Franklin, you know, rookie
That's why
Harvey running
nobody
back
had them
over
doing
there.
what they're doing. Yeah.
And they're just winning, man. Like,
Sean and Bo,
yeah.
my gosh, dangerous combo, head coaching quarterback
Dangerous
combo.
combos out there, man. Like these teams, man, like they're crazy. Cause like the teams you expect, you know, you look at the Packers, you know what I'm saying? If they make it, you know what I'm saying? They're Micah Parsons is hurt. Love's been, you know, banged up. They just pick up Trayvon Diggs. What you think about Dallas?
I saw that. I liked it.
Both of their star players on defense this year.
I love it. They are doing, and that's why they know their time is now, right? You know, I'm happy for Jordan Love. Obviously, again, have to keep him healthy. And also, I know, by the way, congrats to him. I saw his baby news that he just announced. But I'm excited for that Green Bay team. You know, I think the Trayvon Diggs news surprised us all, right? Because it kind of came out of nowhere. Like, wait, he's cut. Like, we knew he had been dealing with injuries. And then, you know, all the reports that came out about whatever happened, right, when he was back home in the area and, you know, and the friction happening.
How about Howie?
But you know, Michael is excited, especially because Jerry continues to throw like low jabs at Micah Parsons, talking about we couldn't afford him, but because we like 4 or 5 guys more. Like what? Like that's the subtle shade. The subtle shade, Jerry.
He's the defense, my guy. What are you talking about? What I mean,
like watch out for Green Bay. I mean, again,
how do they get both of them though? That's my deal. It's like how do you get both of them?
You talk about good front office. Good front office. That's where
and you got Parsons, man.
It's nice. I like it. I love
trade, so that's cool. But Diggs is like, out of all the teams I thought he possibly could have went to, I was not expecting the Packers.
It was a surprise thing.
0% Packers.
Yeah. And let's remember when he's at his best, because I know Trayvon does get some jabs sometimes, you know, but when he's at his best, again, I think that can be special in Green Bay. So I just feel like they understood this assignment. They understand the business of the National Football League, and they understand that they want to win now. So I absolutely, I loved it. And that's why I said football has been the gift that has kept on giving. But Dallas, that was interesting. I mean, but again, that's how you know there's been a lot more there, I think, for them to make that move right at that time.
Mm-hmm. What about the NFC East? You know, the Eagles 2-time division champions.
I think you're going to throw something else.
I don't want to toot my own horn here, but go Birds. You know, we did it. No matter how bad we looked, we did it. So, what do you think about this division as a whole, though? You know, the Giants had a great start. They get both of their 2 young rookies out there hurt. You know, Bo, Scabo, whatever his name is, and then their quarterback gets hurt, and then now their season goes to Washington.
Oh my God!
You know what I'm saying? Like he was running like Brandon Jacobs on us. You know what I'm saying? He was hurting us. Like what? Who is this?
The Giants will never get it together. To your point, they have some pieces, right? They have some weapons. I think the injury bug, of course, hurt. You know, you have Russell Wilson, right? I think you have Jackson Dart. We got our guy Jameis Winston. You know, like I mean, we had a little bit of everything from the New York Football Giants. Which, by the way, Jameis did a pretty good job at the helm when he was there. And there's a lot of questions about Russell and his future. And I know they love Jackson Dart, but I know there's many people asking questions about the concussions, right? Much like they do for Tua Tagovailoa. So all that to say, I think, you know, I think the Giants, unfortunately, I think they continue to honestly just shoot themselves in the foot, to be honest with you. Like, I just think they need to make a decision and keep with the decision. Of course, again, I know injuries happen in football. They're happening to every team right now. So, and it's hard to do it, right, when you don't have your guy. But I think Jackson Dart, like, let him loose, but at the same time, there's still some growth there, right? And he has to protect himself and his body. We said that about JD5 here in Washington as well. Mm-hmm. You know, if you do want longevity in the National Football League. But all that to say, nobody's surprised by the Giants, Randall. Let's be for real, being at the bottom of the NFC East.
Think about it, though, Kels. Scabo don't get hurt. Dart don't get hurt.
They couldn't do it alone, Randall. Come on, give me some more names, because those two alone couldn't do it. They were exciting and electric, but they couldn't do it alone.
The defense side.
Yeah, their defense, but injuries.
They got a lot of first-round picks in that
remember, the defensive side got injured as well. I mean, so I just feel like they just had an unfortunate, they had an unfortunate injury bug. But I still, even if they're all healthy, I don't even. Would you put them at the 500 level if they were all healthy? Are you even giving them the 500 level?
They were, weren't they?
The Giants right
when
now?
They played they were over 500, I think.
Oh, I thought you meant right now. I was like, the Giants right now?
No, I mean, like, when they were all healthy the first game.
Yeah, when they were healthy, they were
got hurt, before Dart got hurt, I think at that point, they were right around the 500 mark.
That must have been really early in the season because
they lost like every game.
They got 3 wins. Yeah, I'm like the Giants they're the same old Giants, Randall. Like I don't have much to give you, but they had some electric players that did excite us. To your point, right? Yeah. But I think when healthy, I do think again watching the coaching situation, I do think they'll be interesting for years to come as they continue to develop. But am I giving them the NFC East title anytime soon? No.
Do you think that they're going to be competitive next year? Because they got the number 1 overall pick, or at least the number.
I was going to say I need to see the draft. I need to see how they draft.
Top 3 pick. They're not getting the quarterback, obviously. They're not getting the running back, obviously. They got Malik Neighbors. He got hurt. That was another huge thing. Malik Neighbors got hurt.
Neighbors getting hurt and Kevon Thibodeau getting hurt, right?
Getting hurt. So they got another receiver. So then they have 2 receivers. Their tight end's not bad. Tess Johnson's good.
But that's why I'm not next season, Randall, but maybe like 2 or 3 years. Give me like probably more 3. Again, in the next 2 years, I'm not giving them the NFC East title because let's be fair. Like you talked about
playoff, maybe not the title, but playoff.
Because I got to go. We're talking about the Eagles. We know you all are obviously building. We know about the Dallas Cowboys, and Dallas was interesting. Remember, like there's many people talking about Dak Prescott for MVP, right? At a point. Season. And you think about them and some of those games, right? So I think Dallas is going to continue to obviously kind of be up there. The Commanders, you get a healthy JD5, and the Commanders are another team to watch what they do in the draft, right? In this offseason. So all that to say, I don't think the NFC East is going to be easy for the Giants to just climb back into, right? Like they're competing with some teams that are building, right?
But the Cowboys seem like they're getting worse.
Falling this much.
I feel like the Cowboys getting worse. That's the next team we're going to go by. The Cowboys.
Okay.
Get rid of your 2 best players. You know, your defense quarters, everybody seems to be in Dallas saying he's not very good. You know, your head coach. Dak Prescott does what Dak does. So I feel like as long as Jared's the GM and Dak's quarterback, they have no shot at doing anything productive. You know, because they do what they do every year. Dak throws for 4,000 yards.
Yeah.
Either they miss the playoffs or they eliminate in the first round.
So you're giving Dallas no. So Randall, how do we fix Dallas? How do we get them past
I just told you. You get rid of Dak.
Ugh.
And you
so if you get rid of Dak,
I don't think about Kelsey. If you were a GM, not Jerry Jones, but you ran the Cowboys, would you have rather got rid of your best pass rusher, your best cornerback, or a quarterback that's been up and down hurt, played for you for a long time, and has not proven he can get out of the first round? When all these other quarterbacks out there, you think if you trade him, you can get a number 1 draft pick, or at least
that was my question. Yeah, if you get rid of Dak, are you drafting a quarterback? Or are you trying to trade for someone? What are you doing with them?
If I was Jerry,
like, what's your future? Are you putting it behind a young future quarterback, or you think you're going to pull?
I'm trading them to the team with the highest draft pick, and the biggest quarterback need. So maybe like the Cleveland, like I could even trade them to the Giants. I wouldn't even care, to be honest with you. I trade them
because there's going to be some good backup quarterbacks, I think, that are available looking for a starting position. Or do you trust the draft and think you'll find a diamond in the rough, right? That you can really and think about the quarterbacks.
If you trade the Giants, you can go pick up that Mendoza kid from Indiana.
Oh, you're big on Mendoza. Okay, so
how the hell? Listen, Kelsey, I hate to jump off NFL, but when the hell did Indiana get good in football?
I know. It's a basketball state, right? We're like, this is a basketball
state. I was looking at the standing. I'm like, is that real? Indiana still? Is that real? Is that what? Is that real? And then they go out there and I'm like, Ohio State's about to walk them. You know what I'm saying? They go beat this. And then you go to the game against Alabama here in the Rose Bowl. And I'm like, what?
I'm telling you, Indiana is like
brothers, like these guys for real out there.
They're special.
When did they get good at football? Is my question. I know they wasn't good last year, the year before that, 20 years, 30, 40, 50 years before that. So how did this even happen?
You talk about coaching again, though. You look at the coach, you look at getting Fernando, right? Putting those two together. And, I saw Indiana was real when they came and played Maryland. I got to see Fernando Mendoza's greatness. And this year, I luckily had the chance to actually be a Heisman voter. So to see this whole process play out was amazing. But I like Fernando, but I like him a lot in the college realm. I'm not betting my quarterback
Do you
future.
feel like I feel like
especially for a franchise as big
more
as
Johnny
Dallas
Manziel.
Cowboys, Randall, come on.
Do you feel like he's more Johnny Manziel?
I'm not going to give.
That's kind of the way he did me. Good in college, talks a lot. He's always in front of
That's where I see where you were going.
Give a glory to God. We just knew that we are the best team and we stick together and we love each other. And I'm like, what? This guy's passionate. Every time he got the camera on him, he's passionate. You know, his brother's waiting, like, yeah, my big brother's about to go to the pros.
I'm trying to tell you, the PR there, first off, shout out to Indiana football's PR.
Yeah.
Fernando is ready for the camera. I mean, the way the answers, I'm like, the media journalist in me and the PR owner in me, like, understands where that comes from. But yeah, I like him a lot in college. Again, I don't put everything that I see on college.
You think he'd be one of those guys that's good in college, but he's not going to be like a top 3 pick. He's not like one of them shoe-ins that for sure when draft comes, we're not going to be like Fernando's one top 3. He might be a top 10 type guy, maybe top 15.
Well, with the hype though, to your point though, I think a lot of people are looking at him. But I think you're going to where I'm going to. I don't see enough yet to say he's going to be the next best star in the National Football League. But to be fair, I want to continue to see how these college football playoffs continue on, right? Because I need to see again how he does in big games, right? As the competition gets more and more and more. But I will say I'm impressed with what he's done.
He's already beat all the competition. Who's good left that he hasn't beat?
He's been good so far, right? But again, I still want to see more, right? And I know he joins that elite list of Heisman winners. Like,
it sounds like you're just like the media and Jalen Hurts and the Eagles right now. You're like, I just
no. But look,
beat everybody good.
I
need to see a little bit more before I give him the crown. I need to see a little bit more before I give him that credit. Oh, okay. Fernando, you got my vote, my guy.
I like Fernando. Look at you trying to make Fernando basher.
You know, unless it's the Cowboys, I feel like that until Jerry leaves, that team's cursed. So.
I was going to say Jerry is one of those guys. I feel about the way I feel about Jerry is honestly how I feel about the Wizards here in DC with Ted Leonsis at times. Like sometimes you need some people to step back some just so these teams can prosper and thrive. And I feel like that, right? Jerry is so into Jerry and, Jerry always thinking he's right, where I feel like the Cowboys, to your point, I mean, the Cowboys weren't bad this year. Again, got to give credit where credit is due. But there are some decisions that need to be made if the Cowboys really do want to get back right to being a Super Bowl team. Will that happen while Jerry's around? I don't know. I feel like he's a hard cookie to crack.
You're making that moves to do it, right? You're getting rid of Diggs. You got all that draft capital for Parsons, right? And that'd be the final piece. Go ahead and get rid of Dak. You might end up with like 3 first-round picks next year. And go get you a quarterback. Go get your running back. Williams is all right. You know what I'm saying? Booby went over there and was trash. So you don't have really no running backs over there. And then, but really, you got to get your star players. You got 2 star receivers. You got to re-sign Pickens if you're going to do anything for sure. That's your number 1 move. Because Pickens was even better than
He's special. And I think we know he can be more in Dallas, right? I mean, so I think to that point, that's fine. But, to be fair, I think Dak, I know obviously he gets a lot of flack because of the injury bug that you alluded to. And he got paid, right? I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. But at the same time,
like more than Jalen. And Jalen got a Super Bowl.
I mean, just calling a spade a spade. But to that point, I still think there's some. I'm not belling on Dak just yet. I'm not belling.
You still think Dak can win your Super Bowl?
For Dallas, I'm not saying he's going to be a Super Bowl, but he's safe for now. Because something I said, this season was the season.
In the last 3 to 4 games of the season, every year he chokes. He chokes hard. Interception.
But you're putting a lot on a young to bring in a young guy. Dallas is a hard place, like Philly, right? Dallas is a hard place to play. You got to put up with Jerry, right? And all that comes with Jerry Jones.
Jalen puts up the Philly media. We're the hardest. He's been in the playoffs every single year.
I give Jalen props and credit. I love Jalen at the helm for to me, I think Jalen does not get enough credit. And now, like to your point, even though he's won a Super Bowl, he still does not get enough credit. I mean, and you talk about a guy that does right on the football field and off the football field. No scandals, no drama, right? I mean, again, just kind of like if you could
best, most epic quotes ever. Like
he respects the reporters. Knowledge.
Philosopher.
He makes you think.
What I see when I seen it, how I seen it. You know, you have to see it out of my eyes to understand.
Hilarious.
I love Jalen. Like, I'm like, this guy's the GOAT, man. He seems like he's like 40 years old. Like he's been through life already.
He is.
You know what I'm saying?
He's that old
These
soul.
kids, like, let me
Yep.
school y'all.
Yep.
Okay.
He's that old soul.
You know,
I still don't appreciate him, but like when you look, okay, so let's just look at the quarterbacks, right, in the NFC East, like we were talking about, right? So you talk about Jalen, you know, JD5 is going to come back, right? You're talking about Dak, and then let's give you know, Jackson Dart for the Giants, right? So out of all those quarterbacks, who would you say you trust the most?
Jalen.
I already know you're right. It's going to be it, but to be fair, if JD5 doesn't get injured this season, right? And let's just say the Commanders got back to the 12-5 season, I think it might be a different conversation, right? Because the whole, probably the only thing you have on JD5 is that he's still young, right? And that's not to say Jalen's old. And I think Jalen's special.
Me, man. Like he's like, he reminds me, I won't even say Robert Griffin III.
Yeah.
You know how they're just so skinny. It's like he reminds me of like Smitty. You know Smitty on the Eagles? But Smitty don't get hurt. I'm not saying in that terms, but in terms of like what he looks like stature, like this is a grown man sport. Like these boys are big out there. Like you can't weigh, you know, 190 and you'll be a quarterback running around like you're crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like these linebackers.
But Randall, to counter that though, so everybody said that about Lamar. Lamar starts to what?
Lamar's way bigger than JD5.
Right, but I'm saying, but when he first came in, they said he's too skinny, right? But we also know that's probably why he elusiveness. Lamar bulks up, and then, you know, one could say he's bulked up, and now you see more injuries since he's bulked up. So I agree with you to a T, but I think everybody's body is just different, right? But at the same time, I think Jaden, I think there is some stuff he needs to do to his body, right? Tone up a little bit more, muscle mass, all that type of stuff. But I still think his game, other than just needing to protect himself more, I think he's still special. And I think, unfortunately, a lot of people have started to bail the ship. We know how it is in the NFL. People get jumpy. You have a bad season. You know, they start to run away from you. But I think this young kid is going to have a good year 3 if he can stay healthy.
Okay, I got you. I got some Washington questions for you right now before we get into this little game. You know, my first question is, what does this finale actually tell you about the Commanders' direction moving forward?
Ooh. So I think right now, honestly, there's going to be a lot of eyes on the defense, right? We know Dan Quinn took over play calling duties in multiple categories. This defense ranks 31st. And then this is also one of the oldest teams in the National Football League. And a lot of that is because of the defensive side of the football, Randall. So I think the biggest thing is going to be, where's the gaps on defense? You know, I think, you know, Dan Quinn is safe. Adam Peters, a lot of conversation about that. Again, I think there are a lot of people are expecting some changes on the defensive side of the football, especially after, again, what this team was able to do last season, right? This team ranks one of the fewest in takeaways. I mean, they have a lot of work to do. The pass rush has been inconsistent in Washington, though they had some success against the Dallas Cowboys. Just had to mention that since we were just talking Dallas and Dak Prescott. So did want to allude to that, but I think that's going to be the biggest thing. I think something going sweet for Washington really the past couple of seasons has been the run game. They have some young studs. Remember, before this season, Washington got rid of, the entrusted running back and put faith in these young guys at the running back position. So I think if they're able to get the run game going, that talks about the future as well. And Commanders, again, top 5 run game in the league. There's a lot of people love, Krosky Merritt, aka Bill Krosky Merritt, and what this young guy can potentially be. So I think that's going to be the biggest thing, though. Looking at the defensive side of the ball, can they establish the run? And then, honestly, I think also who does Washington keep on in that backup quarterback spot? You know, Marcus Mariota signed that 1-year deal, Randall, before this season. He's obviously not going to be playing in this game because of the hurt hand and hurt quad. And, Josh Johnson will be at that. But honestly, I think this season has really made teams look more at that backup quarterback position because of all the injuries, the widespread injuries, right, that we've seen across the league. But
do you think, since they're playing the Eagles backup, they need to show something, like for like morale in the offseason?
Yeah, and especially the young guys.
For the Commanders fan base or whatnot, they go out, and you said they got the 3rd-string quarterback in. So
right.
It's like, do you think that Commander fans still should be looking for, some good plays that they know they're going to get back? Because last year the Giants were in the same situation. McKee went out there and lit them up. You know what I'm saying? And now you see what kind of morale they went through the offseason with Daniel Jones. He ended up being a star in Indy. You know, do you think that this game right here is going to be like one of Dan Quinn's games that he needs to really try to go out there and do something with?
Of course, of course. Like I do have a team, folks, that literally is opposites, right? You look at this team now, 12-5 last season, right? You're looking at 4 wins this season. I mean, literally, right? Complete opposite ends of the spectrum. So I think for this one, like again, they're looking for their young guys to step up, and this is probably like you want to go out with the win too. Let's just be honest, right? Like it's nice to end the season on a high. And let's also remember, football is a business. So those Commander salespeople and all those folks too, a win does good. So when you're looking back to get fans, back, because I mean, if we're honest, the last home game that the Commanders had, one of the things we talk about a lot in Washington is the amount of away fans that come, right? And so, because Commanders fans, as much as they love the team, when you start to falter, they start.
We go get tickets for $50. Yeah,
and it's just real, right? So that's important. And then I think if you have a young quarterback in JD5, right, you need to look at who really, again, needs to remain for him to be at his greatest, right? You look at Debo just coming off a great game. We know how special he is. Obviously, Terry, getting paid, but like Treylon Burks and some of these young guys that people want to see more from. I think that's going to be the question, right? Again, like who's going to be the final supporting cast as the Commanders continue to look, towards the future. And I think these young guys, it's kind of been playing like, a little game of chess and checkers. They keep making some moves, but who's going to be the for sure answers? And like I said, on the defensive side of the football, like I said, that's going to be for me the biggest questions. But if they can beat the Eagles,
it's going to be more for development than actual coaching.
It'll be development, but it's still an NFC East game. And look, Commanders and Eagles fans still do not like each other, Randall. Let's just name it.
They were mad about the last game. They were talking smack at the end of the last game. Oh, you want to? I think we did the 2-point conversion here, and the coach. Oh, you want to do a 2-point conversion on like that? Okay, we got you in 2 weeks. We got you in 2 weeks.
And then you see where we are now. And remember that the last tail end of the Commander schedule has been divisional games, right? I mean, this matters to this team. So, it's not like just, we don't care. Like, no, we know everybody wants a trash talk. We know how special that would be. And again, because of I think, incoming positions and change, I'm on this Commander staff, like this is going to be a still pivotal game. And let's remember, for all teams, right? Even if you have, even the bad teams, right? I mean, there's people looking now at who is going to be part of the organization next season and who is not going to be part of their organization next season. So everyone is getting a look. So I'm still watching this game like I watch any other game. I'll still be breaking this game down tomorrow, Randall, just like I would any other game that the Commanders play. But also, Josh Johnson, I think I just want to allude to this. Like, my gosh, talk about a true journeyman in the National Football League.
I knew you were going to talk about Josh. I'm like, he came.
I had to. I mean, a journeyman. He's getting another star. And I think even for him, you talked about Phillip Rivers, but my gosh, like Josh has such an interesting story. And, last game, 65%, right, that he started. And for him, I mean, it was pretty good numbers, all things considered. So, and it's funny because in Washington, I know like a lot of people were talking about, like we don't want Josh. And, well, what about Sam Hartman? And then I know there's a lot of questions about that. But
I heard about that guy today. I was watching some before we got on. I was watching some ESPN. And talking about Hartman, like don't sleep on Hartman. I'm like, he's not even playing. Like, why are you talking about this? That's why I'm like wondering, what is Washington really looking for right now? Are they looking to see how's coaching going to do the last game of the season moving forward? What coaches they're going to bring back? Are they looking to see like you said before, are they going to have a backup quarterback? And whether it's Johnson, Hartman type thing, is the defense going to play? What players on the defense look like they're going to come back, or is the team just not disciplined enough in general?
Yeah, there's a lot of talk. You talk about coaching. Like I said, we know what's probably going to happen, Joe Witt and that defensive side of the football. But the other thing, there's a lot of whispers and talk about, Cliff Kingsbury and this offense that really has never been able to get into a rhythm or groove. So I do think, again, like this is going to be a game where Dan Quinn is going to have to make and Adam Peters made some true decisions. Now, I think luckily for them, they still are able to last off the high of last season. Because again, we had the Commanders going to 12-5 last season and a game short of the Super Bowl, right? Like nobody had put that together, right? But at the same time, like this is an organization, and Josh Harris wants to win. Like he didn't get this team and pay off.
The offense coordinator will get a pass with JD5 out. I doubt they
And
fire him.
that's why I'm like Dan Quinn and Adam are safe. Like, JD5 being hurt was huge because we know, JD5 is a vital piece to this football team, right? He can get it done with his arms, he can get it done with his legs. And then, Terry being hurt is another part of that story, right? Terry McLaurin being hurt, your top receiver. They were supposed to be special and have chemistry together. He hasn't really been able to be on the football field, right, with his starting guys. So that did play factor. So I think everybody kind of gives a pass for the season, but next season it's going to be back to business. Like this is.
You think they build it in the right direction for next year?
I do.
With,
I think I like Dan. I'm not belling on Dan. I think he has, a lot of the. I think he's a player's coach. The guys love him. He's emotional. I think one of the best scenes from the season was that scene where he had the blood dripping.
Yeah,
he got hit and he's still going. Like that still lives in my head rent free. And so I think he's the one that they want to move forward with. And again, I think when this team is healthy, but I think they have some important decisions to make as they look at the free agents, right? As they look at the draft. And that's going to be a big nod to what Adam Peters and Dan Quinn can potentially do. So eyes will be very close, but I'm excited. I like this time of year because you really do get to see the young guys step up, the guys that don't get a lot of love, throughout the season.
Yeah.
Like this is their time to shine. And whether that be for them to continue in Washington or for them to, move on to another team, like this is the opportunity and chance.
And how do you think the job has been done with our offense coordinator this year? Because I think we went through the teams now with KP. Do you think that, Eagles fans, because we are definitely hard on him. I am one of the biggest.
Just a little bit.
KP haters that were all year long. Like, who is this guy? Do you think it's the NFL, man? Like, I did last show on a True with JC. I did give him some grace. Because I didn't really think about the Eagles won a Super Bowl, right? Shortest off season there is in NFL when you win a Super Bowl, You get the shortest off season, but you get the hardest schedule too. So to be a first year coordinator with the hardest schedule, short off season, we got a lot of injuries on our offensive line this year.
Right.
Our offensive line, even when they were playing, they weren't 100% healthy this year. You see the effects of that. Is it all just, or is it fair, or what do you see? Do you think – I do see games where it's like, what are you doing? I'm tired of watching. You see teams like Chicago, teams like the Lions, the Rams. They have all these cool plays they're doing all game long. You're like, I wish our team could do that, you know? But Nick Sirianni picks his boys. We did this last Super Bowl. He picked his boy. He came in. The offense kind of – I think that we ended up 5th, but it didn't look good. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's another one of them things again.
Yeah. The Eagles are good. Like I said, they're interesting. For one, let me give some love and some grace to Jalen Hurts. I still remember that graphic they put up during the game that had all the different offensive coordinators he's had to work with, not even just in the NFL, right? But in college. You talk about a guy that has to continue to adapt to adversity. His name is Jalen Hurts. And as we know, when you can really get an offensive groove, right, with your coordinator, there's a reason why folks like, Patrick Mahomes can be so special and stuff, right? Because for the most part, he's been able to establish those relationships. It does mean something. Now, the Eagles, again, looking on paper, the weapons that you guys have, to be honest with you, I don't care who the offensive coordinator is. There's so much special talent on that team. It should be able to work.
Every game.
The veterans, the knowledge there, the experience there, it should be able to work when you look at purely the names. But all that to say, like you said, somebody's going into that role. I think something has to be established. But, we're talking, Randall, me and you are talking like the Eagles aren't going to the postseason. You guys are talking like it's doomsday. I think there's room for growth, yes, but still what the Eagles have been able to do is still special. I understand the Super Bowl, coming out the Super Bowl.
We are on a different level, Kel.
I knew this was coming.
Cowboys, Giants, they're not used to having this kind of expectation for their team. They ain't won in years. You know what I'm saying? We've been 2 Super Bowls the last 7 years, playoffs every year it seemed like, for division champions.
You guys got spoiled. Just go ahead and say it.
Yes,
you got spoiled.
We're very spoiled fans, and we expect the best every single game. We're the only fan base that wins, but on Monday morning, we got 20 things to say about how shitty our team is.
Philadelphia is a different.
No, we won, but did you see they ran for 40-yard play one time in the game, and that should never happen. That 40-yard play should never happen. Somebody needs to get fired, benched, removed from the stadium. It's like, no, guys, come on. Like every team gives up
It's true. You guys get. But like I said, all that to say, I feel like the Eagles, that's why I said, I think they're going to be an interesting team to watch because I think because of what we've seen this season, like because it's not been fully put together.
That's Megan Thee Stallion, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, is he talking about me? Oh, no.
Oh, wow. Look at you, Megan. I'm calling you Megan the rest of the show. What up, Megan?
Oh, my God. I would like Megan's money, though. I will be Megan's
Stallion. Right? You want Megan Thee Stallion's money, that's for sure.
I'd be impressed, too, if she could talk football. That'd be fun. That'd be fun to actually talk football with her. I guess she's doing basketball now, right? Since she's dating Clay.
Yeah.
She's a full basketball girlie.
Have fun wherever Clay's at, Dallas, or wherever he is. Man, Clay,
I love it.
That's another guy needed to retire.
The love for you too, by the way, Randall. Like I have to say, like your listeners and viewers, I love the love that they show you, and just I will say that the faithfulness of the Eagles fan base is a beautiful thing to watch. Like I absolutely love it. I know I cover the DC team, but like Eagles fans have shown me honestly so much love and have invited me and like been just the most courteous. So I'm giving Philadelphia, and I just
in the area. You right there. You know what I'm saying?
I was just in Philly. Let me tell you, when I went to Philly, I don't even know if this is the best cheesesteak. This might get me in trouble, but the cheesesteak I had from Uncle Gus's was like life-changing. It was so good.
Where'd you go?
I was in Philly. I went to Uncle Gus's. I know people told me like there's different.
I didn't try them. I never been in that one. I just went to Shays.
And they were good.
I was in Philly for the Detroit game. I went to Shays, and man, that was great.
It was good. I keep getting like different opinions on who has the best cheesesteak. Well, my family's Southern. I love good food, and
I've been to everyone. Just people say, "Hey, we should try this one now." I've been to like a lot of them, but there's so many of them because it's Philly. Everybody gotta get cheesesteak. It seems like except for the two main big ones, Paps and the other one there. No one seems.
Let me tell you. Uncle Gus has changed my life. Like I used to always be a girl to get a cheesesteak with like lettuce, tomatoes.
What's your cheesesteak, then, Kels? What do you like on your cheesesteak?
Well, that's the thing. Since I've been to Uncle Gus's, like I don't get lettuce and tomatoes anymore. I just get like the onions, mushroom, and the cheese and the mayonnaise. I used to get all the toppings. Not anymore. Not since I love Uncle Gus's. I'm like, give me the Philly style. Like I just want onions.
So how they make it there? You said just the cheese, the meat.
We make like a sandwich. You know what I mean? Like you put the lettuce, the tomatoes, like all the toppings, but like not anymore. I feel like I'm a Philadelphian now when it comes to my cheesesteaks. Like I just want it simple, basic, like the provolone, the mushroom, the fried, or grilled onions.
Where have you been to Paps?
Have I been to Paps? I've been to Gino. I don't think I've been to Paps though. So maybe that's one I need to put on.
You like Geno's?
I like Geno's, but everyone said that's the tourist attraction one. Is that true?
You like it though. Those are the good.
I liked it. I don't know. I like cheesesteaks. I liked it.
Have you ever had it with ketchup on it?
No, I didn't. No, that's one thing I've never.
One place. It was like, I don't know why I can't remember the name of it, but it was like in the middle of Philly, like in the city, man. It was like just a hole in the wall type spot. And they're like, you want everything on it? I'm like, yeah, I'm in Philly. Why not? Everything. And I started noticing he was like putting ketchup on it. And I'm like, whoa, bro. Like,
yeah, I never had it with ketchup.
Let me tell you, with all the vegetables they put on that sandwich is like this fat and that long. And it was one of the most eaten. I took it to the tailgate and I was sharing it with people. Like, it's a huge sandwich.
Now
and
you got
it was one of the best cheesesteaks. I feel like you can make it so many different types of ways, and it's always just good. Once you got the steak and the cheese, I think those are the two main ingredients. And the bread. That's huge for me. Is the bread. The bread is what makes a cheesesteak.
Okay. I agree with you though. The bread has to be toasted right. Like the inside has to be soft. So I agree with you. Like the bread has to be, and I guess what is it, like multi-grain that they usually use, but like I was very impressed. So all I have to say, I'll be like very soon.
I was shocked. I'm like, why you got sesame seeds on the bread? I'm gonna try it.
But it was good. And usually I'm like a plain bread girly, but like with the sesame seeds and stuff, that's what I had at Uncle Gus's. I was like, this is good. Like I would have never put all those flavors and tastes together.
See, y'all don't know this, but BG's about to have a whole nother channel, because I'm a chef myself. I love cooking and I love going out.
You need the food channel.
I got like I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I got like 300 videos of me food critic at different restaurants all over the United States. I haven't even posted yet. I just have them on my phone. Like I need to do something with this. I need to make content
Yeah,
with
you
it.
should. Look, men cooking is the new wave. So I'm like, you need to hop in on that.
I'm like, yeah, I can make anything. Whatever you want, I can make it. And it's gonna be the best you taste. I just made some ribs Kels the other last for New Year's. Ooh. Oh, I'd be impressing myself because I'm like, Jesus, who made those ribs? Who made them? Who made them? I made them.
I
Man,
love it. I love
cooking,
it.
man. Like
But
cooking.
Randall, no, like I said, I appreciate your passion. I love this. I'm excited for the game. I know it's interesting. I know there's a lot of folks, and this is a 4:25 time slot. I know the Commanders got so many primetime games this year, and games flexed and moved because of the success of last season. It'll be interesting to see, where things fall next season because of the unfortunate
Do you think
downward
they get
trend.
back to the playoffs next year? A healthy JD5. Let's just put that out the way.
Okay.
JD5 is healthy next year.
Mm-hmm.
Are the Commanders taking over the 2 seed in the NFC East?
I think as it stands right now, I think I do have them in the postseason. I think I have them getting in wild card. I do think there's a couple things that I
had them number 2 seed this year. They let me down. I was telling Cowboys fans like Commanders going to be number 2. And then JD5 went out and got hurt.
Well, they were supposed to, right? If Jaden Daniels was healthy, I do think you could see. I mean, because again, look at last season. But it's just, I think it's just unfortunate. Again, what happened, I think, on the offensive side of football, most glaringly, they couldn't keep healthy, right? I mean, it just seemed like left and right, like they were losing guys. And, of course, I know it's a next man up type of league. And
Terry was out most of the season too, right?
Terry got hurt, right? And the whole big thing was him getting paid and him and then remember Austin Eckler, like people are talking about that. You saw what happened to Zach.
Crap, he is on that team still.
But he got hurt so early, right?
I forgot that Eckler was still on the team.
He got hurt. Remember, because he turned his Achilles, right? So, I mean, he got hurt early. I mean, you talk about a team that like everything bad could happen. So much bad happened, and then here we are. And it's unfortunate for the Commanders, but there were some key injuries that happened that you're just like, man, it's going to be hard. And as we see, it was hard for them to be able to bounce back from.
If the Commanders win today, give me 3 hot takes.
If the Commanders win today, let's see.
Need to happen for that to happen.
Oh, for them to win. Okay, so the run game, I think they're going to rely on the run. So the run's going to have to work. 2, I think they're going to have to force a takeaway. I think they're going to have to force a takeaway, get Jalen or somebody. Either there's a fumble or interception happening in that game. And then I guess a hot take is this. Josh Johnson has his best game ever.
What is that?
You said hot take. Wait, so that happened.
John played for the Ravens last year, right? Was he
did play. He played, right. He played for Baltimore. And I think that's why when he
came in when Lamar got hurt last year, right? And won.
But Josh, I think so. It's so the Ravens are
in him. I remember they were.
But the Ravens are interesting. Like Josh was on that team. I don't think he really, unfortunately, wasn't able to, I think, to do anything prolific. I think Baltimore was interesting. Like, remember when they had Cooper Rush as the backup? And Baltimore's another team. I think those games that Cooper was in, I just think he was bad. I remember that's why they had to go get Tyler Huntley. And Tyler's much more better for the Ravens system, much more Lamar's style, and it's been able to work. But Cooper just did not work, I think, the way that Baltimore, had continued to play out.
So why are you a Commanders?
Does he make Commanders fan? Well, okay. I guess I'll tell them I'm a born and raised DMV girly, and I used to work for the team. For folks that don't know my background, but I've been covering the DC sports scene forever. So DC sports journalist, hence why I cover the Commanders, and I grew up here. But Randall knows I'm a Maryland girl, so like the Ravens are my team, but I cover the Commanders, and they've been a great team for me to obviously talk a lot about, especially last season because they came so close. But all eyes for me will be tonight on that 8:20 game and seeing what happens. Especially with the narrative happening around Lamar Jackson right now, I'm very curious this play. I'm curious if they give the ball to Derrick Henry and run the football the way. But remember, they're playing a Steelers team. Ravens Steelers is always an interesting game because it really can go any way. And then I think Aaron Rodgers is also still an interesting one to see, what happens in this game with him as well.
So score prediction, but I want to ask you about that game. Like, what do you truly think of that? Do you think that
score for which one? Commanders game or Ravens one? Which one?
We'll do the Commanders game first.
Okay. Josh Johnson, Eagles, backups. Oh, this is all hard.
Kels, remember, it's our back, and our backups are great. So don't act like, they normal backups. We got some really good backups there.
Oh
McKee
my gosh.
never even
This
a
is a
game.
hard one to give because, like you said, the backup. Let's do. Oh, do I think the defenses are going to come up big? I'm going to be a safe bet. Let's do 23. The Eagles. They called the Eagles. Is Jalen's not playing at all, right?
Who?
Jalen Hurts. He's not playing at all, right?
No.
I don't even think Eagles back. So that's why I'm like, okay, let's do 20.
They're not playing for sure. You're not going to see Jalen Hurts. You're not going to see AJ Brown. You're not going to see Saquon Barkley.
That's kind of why I'm like, I can't give
Jordan
you guys
Davis,
that point.
Jalen Carter, Malata, Lane Johnson, Landon Dickerson. Maybe not someone on the offensive line that's a starter. You're going to have to play. I think Fred Johnson.
Let's do 23-17, Randall. I'm not giving a lot of offensive points. Let's do 23-17.
Eagles?
I'm going to give it to Josh. I'm giving it to Josh. Because I'm like looking at this Eagles team, the backups playing. I'm looking at playing it safe. Because y'all know you're going to the postseason. I thought you were going to be on the team, Kels. What is your final score prediction? I know you're going to pick the Eagles, but how much do you have them winning by?
You know what? If Tanner McKee plays like he's been playing, you got to think this guy. Last three times he started from preseason, even from last year, the last 2 games of the season, he put some numbers.
He's not bad. That's what I'm saying. This game
really do have an argument, I think, when they say oh, I'd rather see McKee than Hurts. And I love Hurts. I'm a number 1 Hurts fan. I love Hurts. I don't want to see it happen ever. But
Randall, number 1 Hurts fan now. I don't see all the love coming from you from Jalen. I need to see more love if you're the number 1 fan.
Hurts is the best. The best quarterback in the league, okay? I'd be preaching that all year long, regardless of what you say. Everybody want him to throw for 4,000 yards. I wouldn't mind seeing it, whatever, but that's just not the guy. I was mad that they haven't been running him like they need to. You know what I'm saying? I've been on there. Hey, run him. Okay? Run him until you can't run no more. You know, run and throw. Jalen needs to stay between 15 and 20 passes a game. Jalen needs to run the ball at least 5 to 10 times a game. If you get that combination, he's like undefeated. You know? He's undefeated. He's on top. You know, you can't take away one of his super powers and then expect him to be this, you're not going to ever be the best passing quarterback. Kind of like when you think about even the wins alone for me for Jalen, it's just we haven't seen a quarterback really do this. Like Tom Brady was the last one.
I have a quick question for you though before we get off and go because the football starting. What's up with AJ Brown? What's with all these? What's with all this AJ Brown not happy? I want to hear from a fan perspective. What do you think?
AJ Brown, and everybody know I just got back on AJ ship because all year long I was hating on him. Because my deal was, you got a new offensive coordinator. You were pumping him up this whole offseason talking about you like the way this guy is doing. You guys are talking. You're going to have the best season. The thing was AJ overhyped himself in the offseason talking about I'm going to be the best receiver in the league this year. That's my goal, to be the best receiver in the league.
Right.
But you don't play on a team that throw the ball like that.
Fair.
So that didn't even go together.
Right.
You to jump with you. But then you get mad 3 games into the season. I understand, you week 8, 9, 10, now you're mad you don't get the ball. But week 3, you know what I'm saying? He started it.
That's why it's been so interesting. That's why I was curious.
I think it's hard knocks, goddammit. It's conspiracy. It's hard knocks. They want to make it seem like Jalen and AJ are best friends. I'm like, you're trying to bring our team down, hard knocks. But no, I just think he and then you know what? Not even, hate aside, I don't hate him. Hate him. I understand what he is. He does work hard. All off season, he was making videos out there working hard.
I don't think anybody doubts him. It just seems like
young cats together. They go work out with him and train him and mentor him. So I understand that side of it. Why wouldn't you want to be the best in the league? My only question with AJ is, and I think it happened now that he's won a Super Bowl, because you look at AJ's had every year he's had 1,000 yards for the Eagles. Every year he's made except for this year, he usually made the Pro Bowl. He's made a couple of All Pros. So it's not, but he's never really been his point is, his argument was I want to be number 1 this year. I want Jamar Chase love, the Justin Jefferson love. For that to happen, you have to be the only good receiver on the football team. Smitty had a better year than AJ this year. You know, and Smitty is a number one receiver too. So you can't be on a team with two number ones. Because you look at Chase. Chase got Higgins, but Higgins not. But no one really says they say Higgins is good. But they don't like, oh, he's a bona fide number one. He go to your
He has
team.
good games, but Higgins has good games
because Chase getting triple coverage. But you know, like Devontae
you about
Smith
to have Higgins in your mentions, Randall.
Devontae Smith was a number one draft, the best college football receiver ever. So you already knew he had game his first year without AJ.
Wait. You said the best college football receiver ever. Okay, we're gonna have to do another show because
What other college receiver won the Heisman?
I mean, he's good. Look, good as hell. Believe me. I watched his collegiate career. That's why I said on paper, the Eagles are special. The Eagles are special. That's why there were some questions this season. And again, we're not talking. I mean, the Eagles. I know Eagles fans can't be happy, but like what they've done this season, still they're going to the postseason. But all in all, to say, I thought there was a lot of stuff there. I thought there were a lot of distractions. I thought the AJ Brown narrative about him not being happy, and then a lot of it around Jalen as well. It's like, come on, y'all. I mean, again, a quarterback. No offseason, like nothing outside the realm, always focused on football. I mean, Jalen, you talk about someone who loves football, I never question Jalen Hurts, love for the game. Like, I mean,
Jalen can go out there and win another Super Bowl, Kels, and they're still going to hate on him.
It's sad, but it's true. He's just one of those guys that, like, the narrative will always be like, people still don't want to give him that, that greatness, I feel like, tagline, right? Like,
we've been saying this though, but they'd rather give it to people that have done nothing. That's my only argument with it. Like everybody want to praise what's the dude from San Diego, Herbert. What has Herbert done?
Now Herbert's one that's interesting, right? Because I think people give him they keep giving him all these titles that he has not earned, and it's interesting. Randall, you're going to make me go down a rabbit hole, and both of us have to watch football.
Okay, so let me get you out of here now, Kels. Before we go down that rabbit hole, but to answer your question, it was more like I just feel like AJ's was kind of misunderstood, but he kind of was out of pocket. Don't do that in the middle of your season. And like, if he wasn't the captain of the football team too, like if you're just a normal player, you're upset, whatever. But once you put that seal in your chest, you got to
right. It's different. You're held to a different standard, but rightfully so, because that's what they give you that for.
So now that we're off this game, because we already know the Eagles are going to win. Good job, Kels, for telling me that. The night game you say you were looking forward to. Yeah. What do you really think is going to happen there?
Ravens better.
For one, I don't even know if he's playing or not. Is he playing, or do you think this is the Aaron Rodgers go back to the playoff game?
I feel Lamar's going to play. Lamar knows the narrative. He's addressed it this week in interviews. He knows the narrative that's out there about him, with some people feeling like he's given up on the team, that he doesn't want to be there, that he's not serious. He hears all the noise. I think Baltimore can win this game if they are turnover free. When you look at the games that Baltimore has lost, I think about that Zay Flowers fumble. I mean, I can point to different things. If Baltimore can have a mistake-free game, if Lamar can protect that football, if Derrick Henry can protect that football.
Fumbles this year with Henry.
I mean, look at him. And then you think about this team and the games they've lost with Isaiah Likely and it's been crazy. So all that
he's been all year too. Like, I picked him up on fantasy.
There's been some questions about Isaiah, right? And very interesting. So I think Baltimore, again, if Baltimore can call this game right, protect the football, I do think Baltimore has a chance to win, but do not underestimate. Again, Steelers and Ravens is so hard because the Steelers can shine in bright spots, and they also have weapons. Aaron Rodgers is still, knows the game well, but I think the Steelers defense has had moments, right, where they've been special.
They have TJ Watt back, right, tonight.
That's why I'm like, it's going to be interesting. And then what's and Metcalf, he's still suspended, right, for this game? Is he still suspended for this game?
I'm not sure about that.
I forgot to zoom back. But all that to say, I think Baltimore, though, can win this game but the problem with Baltimore is even if they win the game, I don't trust Baltimore at all in the playoffs.
Damn! Two-time MVP. If you get to the dance, you don't think you can put his dance.
They've been shaky. They've been shaky this year, and you know it. That's what I'm saying. So, all that to say that I think Baltimore can win this game if they have a mistake-free. But Pittsburgh again. Pittsburgh is still Pittsburgh, so I think this game can go either way.
You can take these to your sports board. Hot take: whoever wins this game tonight and goes to the playoffs is going to make it to the AFC Championship.
Ooh, that is a hot take. Wow!
I feel like they're two stars on a path. You look at the beginning of the Pittsburgh Steelers season; they were trash. It seemed like, You know what I'm saying? Everybody's like, oh, Mike Tomlin's about to have his first under 500 game.
Right. There's a lot of questions.
And Aaron Rodgers has been playing hot lately. You know what I'm saying? So you want the narrative to see the old school vet, one of the former two-time MVP versus the new MVP, two-time MVP.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Who's going to come out, and whoever comes out
it's going to be a good one. Like, everybody should be on their TV screen.
Give me your score prediction.
Oh, this one's hard. Like I said, this one's hard. If Baltimore has
whoa, Kels. I need a straight up prediction. None of this. If this happens, if that happens. I want you to. Which say with your chest, Kelsey.
Randall, I know we want to say you're going to win this football game. You already tells me Baltimore's going to have a turnover, though, and that scares me. That scares me so much. I feel like there's going to be a Baltimore turnover, and I feel like that turnover is going to be like. Oh my gosh, this is hard. I think I'm going to give it to Pittsburgh. Unfortunately, I know Baltimore is going to kill me. Oh, so sorry. I had to go. But give me Steelers winning. Give me Steelers winning by 3. I'm going to say Steelers winning by 3.
No score, just the by 3.
I can't give a score. I'm just going to say the Steelers win by 3 because I just think that game is going to be this crazy.
Is that enough? You say your team's going to lose? Is it going to be a high-scoring game? Is it going to be a low-scoring defensive game?
I still have. I mean, it's Baltimore and Pittsburgh. I don't think it's going to be high scoring, right? Like this is a true AFC North battle. I think the defense is going to be a factor in this one. So I think more low scoring, Pittsburgh winning.
17-14. I'm gonna say.
No, that's too low. That is too low. That's too low for this.
21-24.
Yeah, the 20. I think that's better. But
I think the Ravens are going to win if Lamar's back.
If Lamar is fully healthy, and doesn't commit a turnover, Baltimore can win.
Because he got to do something in the playoffs. You can't just be winning MVP.
But Randall, this has been so fun. I'm so sorry. I have to hop on.
You got to go. I got to get you out of here.
This has been so fun, you guys.
Are you doing anything coming up? Anything coming up with your big right now? Let everybody know.
I do actually. So everyone needs to follow me. My website, KelseyNicoleNelson.com, social media, The Real Ken Nelson, because I can't give y'all the exclusives just yet, but I have a lot of exciting things coming in 2026. So please be sure to follow.
Go follow. Hey, salute to you, Kelsey.
Thanks.
You enjoy the rest of your day. Good luck to your team.
So much. Bye, guys. Make it a great one.
All right. Bye. All right, guys. You guys heard it from her. She said she wants the Eagles to win, and that's not directly what she said, but the Eagles will win this game. I really feel like the Eagles will win this game. And it's going to be a good game. I think, having our backup is going to make it more of a tighter game than what it would normally be if I started for playing. So let's watch some football. Let's cheer our team on. Let's cheer for the Detroit Lions to go handle their business and go beat up on those Bears and get that number 2 seed because I do want to play. I'm ready. Let's go play Green Bay first round next week. So hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that follow button wherever you at. Fly, Eagles, fly. And I'm out. Peace.
How about our quarterback? How about our quarterback?
I'm your quarterback.
He's a stud.
He is a stud.
I knew he was going to play that way. I knew it. Don't doubt him. All he does
I'm
is win.
Pregame 31 and I'm fly like an eagle. Hit him low, hit him high like the Eagles. Catch me on a podcast and we only talking Eagles. Dallas still sucks and ain't nothing like the Eagles. I'm on O-line, Jalen Hurts top 5. Run it like Saquon, like I'm down Queen. Always open AJ, touchdown, say. Strap him up like the Jean, sack him up, Zach Mom.